do not want to interrupt, but I think our priority should be to find Cornelia. I doubt our Mother Cardinal is aware of the Inquisition's actions. She will certainly want to put an end to it all to appease the natives. Whereas, a frontal assault led by Deirdre and her men would only rekindle the conflict. And Cornelia would umbrage at an intervention of the congregation without even informing her of the situation.
Alright guys, so I'm doing a side mission that I had to wait for the main quest, so now it's available. So I'm just gonna go ask for the result of the research.
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to—
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to—
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved, and the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from
This man is burning up with fever and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The blows did not put him in this state. He looks like a victim of poisoning. With the right antidote, I think we could get him back on his feet.
Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. These savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp. There are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Now I have to go somewhere else. And
Onol Manawi, you've come back to— I heard that you managed to
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alone, and you proved me right. Peace.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegat is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well.
Thank you. I will go see her. I have to go.
Like so.
Here you are again. What do you—
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by...
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if...
Do you know which antidote should be given?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like you. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the... Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Alright. So... now I can give him this. And heal him.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition... The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were... I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who were...
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you.
Follow it.
So it's funny that we came here last time and there was no, like, this area was closed. Now it's open.
did was bring you to the place suggested by the tablets. I had no way of knowing.
Really? But I did warn you. You just wanted to have it your way. Someone so foolish and thoughtless should not be supervising an expedition.
How dare you?
It looks like we're right on time. If we do not intervene, they are sure to gut each other.
How can you call yourself a man of faith when...
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, happy to see you. You arrive right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid...
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became...
Were they also written by Saint...
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being...
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarm...
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information. But you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother...
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both.
Brother Virgil,
What do you want?
can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well. I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are...
So I'm just investigating the...
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
That is unlikely. Look, my child. The wound is located at the back of the skull. I regret to say that, in my opinion, he was struck from behind. With a mace, most likely.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body showed that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death.
Huh. My boy found it. Alright. Let's go to the next area, which is...
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it. The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it.
May the enlightened protect you in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the enlightened...
cause of death is no mystery. This man was attacked by one of those large reptiles, a Llewellyn. And yet, these iridescent marks on his skin make me think that a stasis spell was cast on him first. He was intentionally immobilized so that he would fall prey to this animal. It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all costs. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people, only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to...
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the... But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the Congo? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince you... My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer.
It is undeniable that these discoveries could cause a great upset in Taleme. But he has no right to decide what should be revealed or not. On this, be careful with your accusations, though. Eugenia and her colleagues are on edge. We wouldn't want them to start.
Sorry, Brother Virgil, but I cannot accept. You will take your belongings and leave this place. The research will continue, and their discoveries will be studied by wiser people than you. The decision to reveal them or not will be theirs.
I see. My colleagues and I will go back to Eden. I hope that you don't regret your decision.
Alas, I have found the dead bodies.
How horrible. But how?
I doubt it. Brother Virgil is responsible for these deaths.
What? But why would he?
As I do not have the authority to arrest him, I sent... If you want him to face judgment, you will have to report what happened to the mother...
You are right. As soon as we get back to civilization once more, your help has, alas. We will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further on. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover.
I've never been that far into this one, but if I was to live here, I would look for a drier place.
falling apart! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
No magic! Drink a potion!
Your magic is running out! Take a potion! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Drink a potion!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out! Take a potion!
No magic! Drink a potion!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out! Take a potion! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
No magic! Drink a potion!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out! Take a potion! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Alright. That's funny.
A cavern. Hermits often choose places like this when they want to live away from the world. This is incredible. People lived here, and amongst them Saint-Matthias, perhaps. We have to rummage through this place. Maybe enlightened protection in this battle.
magic is running out! Take a potion!
Magnificent. If St. Matthias did come here, this is where he must have settled.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural is very ancient. An old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. Looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago. And it undeniably comes from the continent.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias is often depicted or described as using a similar chaplet. Oh, I feel so lucky to be here. In this cavern where our founder lived.
Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada.
There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men duis dat, Enon Miel Frictimen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people, Enon Miel Frictimen.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him.
I don't know if you realize the importance of what we've just discovered. Saint Matthias, the founder of Teleme, finished his life worshipping the islanders' god. This is so incredible. Although it will cause a huge upset for our nation, our cult, and our relations with the natives.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Teleme.
I understand you must be concerned. Great revelations are often followed by a trail of blood. But if what we found was revealed, my people could live in peace with the priests at last.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.